In this Evolve University breakdown, we will analyze Pet Marakat's knockout victory over Yokotaya.
สวัสดีครับ I am Kua. Today I will show you how Pet Marakot knock out ยกวิทยา
From the beginning of the fight, both fighters can be seen circling and moving laterally to jostle for position. As is common in open stance matchups that involve a southpaw and orthodox fighter, both Yokotaya and Pet Marakat are determined to establish the dominant angle with their lead foot positioned to the outside of their opponents. Pet Marakat's first strike of the fight, a hard left cross, signals his intent and reveals his game plan for the rest of the fight. For the remainder of the round, Pet Marakat continuously looks to dart in and land his left cross. In an open stance matchup, if a fighter is able to establish the dominant outside angle, their rear cross is lined up with their opponent's center line, shortening the distance their punch has to travel and creating a straight path to their opponent's head, splitting his opponent's guard. Throughout the first round, one of the main tactics used by Pet Marakat is to drag Yokotaya's lead hand out of the way before firing his cross. Consistently, before throwing his left cross, Pet Marakat can be seen darting in and reaching out with his lead hand, as if he were jabbing. Instead of jabbing, he pulls down on Yokotaya's lead hand to clear a path for his cross that follows. Employing this tactic shows how committed Pet Marakat is to landing his left cross. In the second round, Pet Marakat continues to aggressively look to land his left straight. To make more of a mark on the fight, Yokotaya starts to try to counter Pet Marakat after his attacks. When Yokotaya retaliates, Pet Marakat is able to effectively lean back and pull himself as the strikes come, making Yokotaya miss. With Pet Marakat continuously stepping in to punch, Yokotaya tries to find a way to stop him. He can be seen starting to utilize teeps and intercepting knees when Pet Marakat steps in. In the third round, to try and gain control of the fight, Yokotaya increases his aggression and starts to walk forward. With this forward movement, he is able to crowd Pet Marakat's shots and engage in the clinch. As is usually the case for the bigger, taller fighter, he starts to find some success in the clinch, controlling Pet Marakat well and landing some hard knees. One of the obvious dangers of constantly walking forward is that you can be open to being hit hard as you close the distance, especially if timed correctly by your opponent. Midway through the round, Yokotaya gets hit with two hard left kicks as he walks forward to engage in the clinch, reminding him of the danger of his chosen game plan. Learning from this, the next time Yokotaya attempts to engage in the clinch, he closes the distance by walking forward with a check. This is a common technique used to defend oneself from kicks while you close the distance to engage in the clinch. The knockout sequence starts right after that clinch engagement, when Yokotaya once again decides to walk forward and close the distance while checking. Having had time to get a read on Yokotaya's movements, Pet Marakat expertly retreats as Yokotaya moves forward to maintain the distance, and then throws a hard left cross to Yokotaya's head as he is striding forward with his hands outstretched, knocking him down to the canvas. After taking a few moments to gather himself, Yokotaya is able to get up and beat the ref's count to continue the fight. Smelling blood, Pet Marakat instantly rushes back in to finish the fight. He bombards Yokotaya with his favorite weapon, his left cross, mixing up shots to the head and body. Even though Yokotaya tries to stay in the fight, retaliating with some shots of his own, he gets hit by hard crosses, dazing him and causing him to backtrack. Even though this sequence is fueled by power, intensity, and aggression, you can see that Pet Marakat has the presence of mind to maintain the dominant angle to line up his crosses throughout. Pet Marakat is able to eventually corner Yokotaya and connect two precise left crosses, knocking him out. This knockout was created by Pet Marakat's ability to stick to a simple game plan that heavily utilized his most effective weapon. Pet Marakat was disciplined enough to stick to his left cross throughout the fight until he was able to land a big one. This, in combination with his ability to quickly get a read on Yokataya's movements and take advantage of an opening, is what enabled him to end the fight early.